Okay, so round three, we're up against Hampus on most likely Tron. This is a perfect hand to fight Tron here. We've got a turn two familiar, and turn one we can just go grab a second island. So I'm on the play. I'm going to go ahead and do that. We'll play land, fetch an island. Hampus knows what I'm on, so there's no sense waiting till his end step. So I'll just play Sunscape Familiar on two. Playing out a turn two Prism. Here I'm deciding I can either play Evoke Mole Drifter and Echoing Truth it, or play Deep Analysis. I decided to go for the Deep Analysis. That draws me two cards, and then I'm pretty much set up. All I need is another familiar, and then I have the full combo. Leads with a Seagate Oracle, and I decide to go for get an island, and then maybe a Deep Analysis. Let's see. I decide to evoke the Mole Drifter and then Echoing Truth it. That's probably not the smartest play here. I could have just Deep Analysis for the same mana and then had a bunch of draw spells in the graveyard. So opponent led on a Prism and then is just keeping a lot of mana open. I don't have any interaction. I end up pondering and seeing Preordained and Sunscape Familiar. I'm going to keep the Familiar on top for sure and draw it. And then let's see what we do. Mystic Sanctuary gets back Ponder. I decided to just pass. So basically I'm thinking on his turn, if he plays a Dinrova, then I can Ghostly Flicker to not lose a land. So that's why I'm holding this mana open. And I'll just go ahead and bin the Azorius Chancery and the Evolving Wilds because I don't need them right now. They ephemerate the Seagate Oracle, drawing a bunch of cards. I'll discard. So I decided to discard the Deep Analysis and the Azorius Chancery. Deep Analysis in the yard can just draw us 2 for 1 mana, so that makes sense. Ephemerate resolves, and they play a Mole Drifter. Play another land. Go for an Expedition map, and then grab a land. Grabbing a cycle land. So basically they're saying, I have interaction here, or I can do something. I can just cycle out. So here I notice that if I can tap them out, I have the full combo, and I have 2 flickers in my hand. So what I end up doing is flickering the Mystic Sanctuary in the plains to get back Echoing Truth, so that on my turn, I'll draw the Echoing Truth. So right now he can either respond to that, or he can wait till my turn. So Mystic Sanctuary is going to get back Echoing Truth, and then on my turn I can Echoing Truth in my first main phase. If he has a response and wants to tap for colored mana, I can just pass to the next main phase and then do my full combo. But if he doesn't tap for colored mana, then he's tapped out and I end up winning. So he decides not to tap. Probably just going to cycle if nothing happens, but I can play Sunscape Familiar into Mole Drifter, into Ghostly Flicker for the full combo, and they concede. On to game 2. Here I'm keeping a hand that's super sketchy. I'm basically going to go mountain, fetch a island or a plains. Basically I'm saying if I can just mise an island, then I'm super ahead because I can get my turn 2 familiar. They go with the tap land and I end up mising the island, so I'm in a very good spot here. Turn 2 Prism. I'll grab my plains and then go for my turn 2 familiar. Leading on Expedition map, so they'll have Tron next turn. On my turn, I'm Preordained. I see Dispel and Mystic Sanctuary. I'm just going to keep maybe both and put the Mystic Sanctuary down. I probably would have, let's see if I binned it or not. Recycling. Here comes the Dinrova horror. So they decide to Dinrova my Sunscape, which is actually fine for me because it doesn't take down my lands, and I can just bid my Deep Analysis. So I'll play my Sunscape Familiar, draw the Dispel that I saw earlier, and then play this Sunscape, and then draw 2 cards. Having Snap is interesting here. Maybe we can Snap for some extra interaction. He's going to get in for 4 damage, and I'm not going to block for sure. Plays a map. I'm lucky enough to draw an island, so I will play Mole Drifter and... Okay, we're going to go for... I'm thinking, yeah, okay, we'll preordain. I see Sunscape Familiar and Island. I'm going to cast the Sunscape Familiar, seeing if they want to interact with it, and they decide not to, or they may not have a spell. So on his turn, he's going to swing in for another 4 damage. I'm not really going to do anything about it. I have a Dispel and a Blue Blast, which is quite good here. Usually I just keep the 1 Blue Blast in, and now we've drawn into our 2 Familiars and our Mole Drifter. So if we draw into a Ghostly Flicker, we can kind of start winning the game from here. I'll evoke the Mole Drifter, planning to snap it. I do not draw a Flicker, so I'm going to snap it. They go with the Red Blast, and I'll go ahead and Blue Blast that. Get to untap. And then I think I'm just going to cast a Deep Analysis. Trying to leave as much mana open as possible until I can burn him out of cards. So now that I have the Flicker, this is the full combo. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4 colored mana, so I have to be aware of that. I'm getting kind of low on life as well. Mnemonic Wall is going to get back Red Elemental Blast. Then we think about how much mana does he have. He ends up playing another tower, which is bad because if all of these are counter spells, all 4 spells, then I'm not going to be able to fight through it. I decided to wait till my turn to start trying to do stuff, and we'll just go ahead and start attempting the Flicker. He has the Pyroblast that we know about, which we can use Prohibit on. And then we'll see if there's another spell. He has another Red Elemental Blast, and I can just go ahead and dispel that. Hope for the best, and he doesn't have another removal counter spell, so I end up just winning from there. Alright, good game.